Hey everybody, happy Monday. Today is July, I believe, 27th. This is the 8th week that HB Harold Branch III and I have been doing these nightly decompressions. And let me tell you, it has been such an honor being able to come into your home, come into your office, to accompany you maybe as you're driving, just listen, don't watch. But this has truly been an honor. We started off during a time when, at least here in Arizona and all over the world, people were actively protesting. Everything with Black Lives Matter was really strong, and we're still going strong now. But this is the way that HB and I thought that we could carry water, hand out water to those who are running this marathon. And it has truly, truly, truly been a definite blessing and an honor. So I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing us to come in and to just kind of join you. So as you're coming in today, I can see the comments. Let me know who you are, where you're joining us from, any questions that you might have about the past 8 weeks. We've done so much. We've talked about so much when it comes to how we're able to decompress, how we're able to just kind of allow the day to go away, and we can separate what's happened during the day and come into our homes, come into our safe spaces, come into the place where those who really matter to us are. Hey, Liz Hopper, good evening from Las Vegas. Nice to see you. Excellent. I couldn't even see that anyone was watching. For some reason, the numbers are not showing. So it's so wonderful to know that you're here. But again, with these nightly decompressions, we really wanted to just be a space where our community, where people within our city, within our state, within our nation, and internationally would be able to just kind of breathe. Just taking that moment to breathe. Hi, hey, Maxine Campbell, hi. Taking that moment to just, allow our shoulders to relax, allow our body to decompress. Thank you, Miss Campbell. I appreciate it. You're so kind. But HB will be on with us momentarily. I'm not quite sure when. He actually had another event that's going on. But what has been our words these entire time has been grace. It has been grace. And so, of course, we're going to give grace where grace is due. But let's think. Let's talk about a little bit about some of the things that we have spoken about. Of course, we've spoken about diaphragmatic breathing. Most recently, we've had folks come on who helped to even expand that with the Yoga Nidra or Yoga Nidra. We've talked to Carlos Williams in regard to being able to connect your mind with your body in order to be able to get in shape. We've had folks come on who helped share music. HB and I talked about books and how well it is to be able to read. Hi there, Mr. Branch. Just finishing stretching exercises. Excellent. That's always wonderful. It's such an honor to be able to share this platform with your son. So thank you so much. What else have we talked about? We've talked about how to talk with our children about what's going on. And that's one of the really prevalent things right now, because at least here in Arizona, and I know within the rest of the United States, it's still kind of going up and down as to, are children going to be in the classroom? Are children going to be distance learning? Are they going to be doing a hybrid of both? If they're in the classroom, what does that look like? And so as adults, as parents, as guardians, as mentors, it's up to us to really try to, yes, Ms. King, we have talked about sleep. It's really up to us to try to help be the foundation, to be that anchor, to help our children, although there's still worried thoughts about the future, but it's not normal, right? What we're going through is very novel. This is something that we haven't experienced at all when it comes to COVID-19 and pandemic the way that it is, something that we've not experienced in our lives. So being able to be that foundation, that anchor, that rock for our children, and helping them through as much as possible. And one way to do that is to show strength, to show confidence, and to be calm. All right, so about sleep. We've talked about sleep, and we've talked about good sleep hygiene, right? So sleep hygiene is, what does our room look like? Is our room dark? Is our room cool? Is it quiet? right? Are we going to bed at the same time each night and waking up at the same time each morning within an hour of each other? So if I typically go to bed at 9, not staying up later than 10. If I typically get up at 6, sleeping in at the most until 7. And I know sometimes that sounds like, oh, but I'm not working today and I just want to sleep in. But we want to keep you from being excessively tired when you do have to get back on a sleep schedule. So staying on the sleep schedule in the long term really, really helps. Who else can share some things that we've spoken about over the course of these 7 weeks? We are in our 8th week. I'm telling you all, it has been an amazing journey. We've shared so much content that I'm just not remembering it all. We've talked about vices. We've talked about, especially during COVID and people being home a lot more, of being very mindful of your alcohol intake. You know, day drinking had become the thing, right? And so we want to make sure that that does not become to where it becomes dependence. We want to make sure that our tolerance isn't increasing. We want to make sure that we're trying to do things kind of as normal as possible. So traditionally you have 2 drinks a week, try to just stick to those 2 drinks a week. If traditionally, you're drinking a little bit more, don't allow it to increase. We really want to keep our tolerance levels down and pretty much the same. If you're noticing, hey, it's taking a little bit more being centered and connected, yes, thank you. If you're noticing that it takes a little bit more alcohol to be able to get that same feeling, it might be time to even just kind of back off of that a little bit. So being centered and connected. I don't remember exactly what night we spoke about that on, but being mindful, being present. I know early on, I think it was like week 1 or week 2, when I was really trying to throw out a lot of science and things like that. One of the ways to be able to kind of just get back into present is noticing what's in your environment. It's a real quick trick to be able to quiet the mind, right? So for me right now, my cell phone is on a little tripod thing right here. So for me, it would be cell phone, piano, red lip gloss, glass of water, grandfather clock, blinds. And so I have to name everything that's here. And it actually takes energy to decide what it is that I'm going to name. And so because I'm expending that energy and I'm having to think about what I'm looking at to name what it is, it gets my thoughts out of the future and it gets my thoughts out of the past and it brings my thoughts right into present. So I'm able to be able to just get reconnected with myself and reconnected into the present time right now. And then I can make decisions on, okay, what do I want to focus my energy on now? Is there a challenge that I'm having that involves the future that I actually have control over? So now that I'm grounded, I can take that time to be able to do those things. All right, so who else can share some things that we've talked about? Gosh, I know I keep harping on breathing, but if you don't remember anything else from me, Dr. Angela Kenzslowe is doing that diaphragmatic breathing. And when I talk about breathing, I'm meaning not just that chest breathing, because although chest breathing can feel good, we're not getting the full physiological effect if we're doing that deep belly breathing. So we can engage that diaphragm, that bottom of that lung, it's that diaphragm, which gets that vagus nerve going, which tells our brain, hey, we're safe, we can relax, we can digest. It will definitely help with sleep, going back to sleep. It'll definitely help with sleep and also with our attitudes, our irritability. Hey, Bob Boston, nice to see you. And so we really want to be able to, when we're doing those breathings, to get the very deep breathing. I'm trying to read the comments over here to the side. So do we talk about nutrient or favorite foods? Mr. Branch, did we talk about nutrient or favorite foods? I don't know if we have. I don't think we have. I think I know we did speak about eating nutritionally balanced meals, and we talked about some of the things that we enjoy, but I don't know if we specifically said, hey, this is what's nutritious and this is what isn't. I know we kind of even went on a tangent about rice and cooking rice and the right way to cook rice. And what's so funny is I recently saw a video where someone like horribly cooked rice. And I grew up on spam and rice and, it's a whole other thing, South San Diego. And if someone saw how this person cooked rice, it would have been horrible. Getting to know you a big one. Getting to know you a big one and HP. Getting to know you. When we did our interviews last week, I think that's what that means. So kind of getting to know us. That was very interesting. It was very interesting for me in that sharing my story in this public forum. I've shared my story in the past in a book or in a small form, but not something that's so internet searchable. And so I actually had to go through the thought process of, do I want that to stay up on the internet? And going back to being my authentic self, I made the decision of, yes, that's what I will do. I will not ask HB to take that video down. So you go over on YouTube and everything as well as on Facebook that we're doing here. So I don't know if HP has got caught up on his other video call, but that's okay. So what else have we spoken about over the course of these past 7 weeks? It's been so much content. I wish I would have written down a list. Anybody or anything that you would like to ask me? Go ahead and post that in the comments, and I'd be more than willing to answer to my best ability. If it's something in regard to mental health that's specific to you, just remember that I'm not able to do therapy in this type of setting, but I can answer generalized questions. So if it's a question maybe about sleep, or a question about mood or depression or anxiety, or just anything in a general sense, I'll answer as best as I can. Yes, we did talk about music, and we talked about how music kind of keeps us going, keeps us grounded, and how music can actually alter our mood. For those of you who are really wanting to utilize music for sleep, the song Weightless, you can find it on YouTube, it's free. The song Weightless was engineered by scientists to scientifically help you fall asleep. And the reason why it does it is that there's no actual rhythm. So when you're sleeping, your brain isn't able to try to predict what the next sound or what the next rhythm is going to be. And as the song goes on, it slows down, and it slows down your heart rate and your breathing, and it helps you go into sleep. I shared it once with a person who's really dear to me, and they said they had like one of the best night's sleep ever, and they fell asleep with their headphones on. It was hilarious after they woke up and shared it with me. The most that has helped me is the breathing and the music that has been essential. Wonderful, Miss Campbell. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Any questions about anything that we've spoken about or that we haven't spoken about? That would be wonderful. Let's see. What else have we talked about? We talked about kids. We talked about school. We talked about breathing. We spoke about sleep. We spoke about yoga. Oh, there's some apps that you can use. Breathe to Relax is an app that will help you if you need some assistance with breathing. It's a free app. There's also Mindfulness Coach for those of you who like to meditate. As the song goes on, I'd be knocked out. Ray, you're listening to Weightless. That's amazing. Excellent. See, that's so good. Oh, I should have got a little thing so I can be like, and here comes.
And then I run in the screen. I got.
Branch the cord. So we've just been covering and talking a little bit about what we've spoken about this week. And so just kind of doing a recap of all the content that we've been
nice.
going through. I've gotten a lot of help from those who are viewing right now in the comments. Tell me about the things that we've done. So
I've been reading the comments. I was cheating. So I was getting ready for this storytelling show, but then I was reading the comments over here, distracted, because I'm like, hey, I'd rather be over here right now. So it looks like a great discussion.
Yeah, but life goes on. There's things that we have to do, and right now that's something that you had to do. You're back and I'm hearing an echo. Can you hear an echo?
I do hear something.
Does everybody else hear an echo? Yeah, great. Echo.
And it just happened when I got here, I would guess.
So I'm hearing myself, I think, reverb back to yours.
Okay, you keep talking. I'm gonna see if it's something over here that I could work on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how about I and you talk?
Okay, that works for me too. And because we got some updates we got to share. We got an announcement to give, correct?
Yeah.
I figured you waited for me.
Absolutely.
So, everyone, I don't know if you noticed this, but I need you all to do something for me. We put up a page for Nightly Decompression. And the Nightly Decompression page, it's a group on Facebook. It's up. Please go and join. If you go to my personal page, I made a comment and it's a little link there. But please go and join. It's just wide open and public for the next week. And then I'm gonna make it private, only so we don't have marketers on there just putting anything and everything on into the group. That's really the only reason. I just need to know people are actual people and not computers, right? So, but for the next week, I want to make that wide open, and we're going to be posting extra videos on there, extra information, all the links, so that way don't have to go find that one session from that third week that talked about that one website. It's all in one group. And the other reason we're doing that is to stay connected. After this will end our second month doing these, and as you can see, and I want to honor and respect Dr. Kenzslowe and her time and committing to this on a daily basis is a lot. And we said we were going to do it organically and then allow it to come to an organic close as well. And that's where we are. So this will be our final week doing this at this time frame, in this fashion. But we are going to allow it to morph. We're going to allow it to grow into something else. And that something else is going to be on in our group. And I even foresee some shows in the future where we say, you know what? Let's do a 30-minute show. Man, let's do an hour. We got some people we want to interview. So we want to be able to dive into some deeper content with you all. And to do that, we got to free this time up. So I hope that you all, even in the comments, I hope that you all let us know that you'll ride with us on that. You'll trust our vision when it comes to that. I know it's a little bittersweet because we've been with each other on a daily basis. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop doing videos every day, but at least this way it won't have to be at 6 o'clock, right? We could just dive in and do it as we see fit.
I go to bed early. You got East Coast folks who are trying to stay until midnight.
Right. It may be at noon. I mean, I don't know. Whenever the spirit hit me, we got to come in here and dive into some information. Ray said, oh, okay, I guess, right? Even if you follow us reluctantly, trust us. I promise you, we have a beautiful, beautiful layout for you all, and some new things and some extra things. And this frees up our creative spirit and allow us to operate outside of this kind of restricted format that we have right here, trying to stay just with 15 minutes, which we have always kept it at 20, but and so that's where we are with that. So we did want to let you know that, and hopefully you all rock with us and continue to tell your friends and things like that, everything. So stay plugged into our group. We'll be here for the rest of the week. Oh, okay. Dad had a question about some different things, and so I know you're checking that out, the doc. And so, family, that's kind of where we are with that. And once again, hopefully you rock with us. We'll be here for the rest of the week, and I think we're gonna probably have something special for Friday, and really dive in a beautiful way. And so this has been just a wonderful experience. Angela, would you like to?
Yes, I want to answer your dad's question.
Please do both.
The question is, what is your position on medication prescribed for individuals who've been diagnosed with mental illness, bipolar personality disorders? I ask, especially in light of the additional stress we are all. Oh, here. I could write it right down. Bipolar each week.
Say again.
I said I should have moved off of there. I moved my Mr. Brandt, that's a very good question. And unfortunately, I'm not a prescriber. So that question would be best fielded by someone who does prescribe meds. If this is specific to a person, the best advice would be for that person to go directly to their provider, whether or not it's their primary care physician, PA, or if they have a psychiatric person who's prescribing their psychopharm. Party at HB's on Friday. So that would be my advice with that, is speaking to the person who's actually prescribing the medication, because one, all the various meds when it comes to bipolar or depression or anything like that, they all are going to have different half-lives. They're going to have different ways in which they affect the brain. So it is a general question, and I know I asked for general questions, but that one's still more specific, and that would go best to the provider.
There you go. I appreciate that. And I was able to figure out what the echo was as well. And so maybe we will have a party of sorts on Friday at HB's virtually, right? You don't know how that's going to go. But please, what's your input on this shift that we're making, Dr. Kenzslowe, before we go?
I think it's going to be amazing. I think that first, thank you, HB, for inviting me and asking me to be a part. This was your vision. And so thank you for trusting me with your audience, with your community. I mean, the home-based community is something that you have built ground up over the course of years. When I would go, I would always be about an hour early so I could sit in the front table in the middle where I knew nobody would be obstructing my view, because believe it or not, I have attentional challenges, which is the reason why I often cut off, because I have impulse control issues. My brain goes too fast. So first, thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me and trusting me in this live format, not knowing what I'm going to say and, you know, if it would be good or not good, if you'd agree or not agree, and knowing that our relationship, our friendship, our brother sisterhood would allow us to be able to disagree. Because in the pre-talk, sometimes we disagree. We're like, I don't know. But that has not hindered. It has only allowed our friendship to grow even deeper. So I truly appreciate you for that. And moving into this next phase, again, the whole thing has been, let's do this organically. And I know we have some ideas as to what this is going to look like. And our ideas may not be what it ends up looking like. Yeah. I only imagine it will be better than what we think it might look like. And so thank you to everyone for trusting me. You know, again, I'm so thankful that you've allowed me into your homes, into your offices. And for those of you who are driving or outside walking, whatever it is that you're doing during this time, that you've given us your time. That's the one thing that is the most expensive thing that we have, is our time. And so I'm just so honored and blessed that you've shared yours with me.
There's nothing else. Beautifully said, and ditto, and all of that right back at you. So everyone, we love you dearly. Back tomorrow. Make sure you chime in. We've got some great stuff for you the rest of the week. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors, and we're going to have a great time. We appreciate you. We love you dearly. You all are warriors. We're fighting a good fight. We see it, what's going on socially, intensifying all over the nation. Corona, we're still trying to figure it out. Kids trying to go to school, shouldn't go to school, doing hybrid programs. The politics is getting more and more divisive. People are getting hurt out here. So I know it's so much going on, and I know you're fighting that beautiful good fight, but you're taking the time with Dr. Kenzslowe to relax, to chill, to get into your spirit, and to go where you need to go. And just remember that it's a duality, and you're warriors, and warriors know how to fight, but they also have to know how to heal, so they could be around to continue to protect and nurture. So we appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.